The Shambookers podcast coming to you from a secret location in Cork City with Enya
and Owen
as your hosts.
And sometimes Jay.
Sometimes Jay. The Shambookers podcast. We made this podcast because of hardships with COVID and stuff like that. And it's kind of to conquer loneliness in a sense, help people feel less alone with our stupid conversations.
Very powerful sentence there.
Really? What did I say?
Conquer loneliness.
Was it cool?
It's going to get conquered.
Will I make that the line now?
Yes.
Oh,
Sure.
cool.
Yeah, sure, line now.
So Joseph left you on a cliffhanger
I left
last
you on
week.
a cliffhanger last week. What did I say? Well, a fun fact about your ears.
No, you said a fun fact about sound that you learned in school, yeah.
Same
Well,
so,
Sound from your feet.
they were waiting to hear sound, now they're hearing ears, like.
so your ears, Jola, your ears has a big fucking complex system going inside your head, like. It's the part of it that's built to, it amplifies everything you hear
Right.
by 20 amplifies everything 20
If
times.
you've good hearing.
No, well that's what I read in the textbook anyway.
On average, like, if you
Yeah.
average
Yeah.
20.
Wow.
So that means everything we hear is 20 times quieter than we hear it.
So we perceive sound 20 times more than it actually is.
That's
Yes.
really annoying.
And do you know what? What does music sound like to a dog or a fucking turtle or something? What the fuck?
Wow.
Is
Yeah. Like,
how
you know,
mad is that? Like,
dogs can, like, sense, like, you know, earthquakes and stuff like that. And they bark
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So that must mean they've way more sensitive hearing than us.
they do high pitched noises, like. But like everything.
So
every
dogs'
sound-
hearing's better than ours.
Yeah.
So their sounds must be more amplified than ours is.
I would
Well, it
imagine.
must be, like.
But there's something in your eyes as well. Like, it's like the image is, like, flipped upside down.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
What?
What the fuck?
Excuse me.
Do you know what?
What's that about?
It's something, a part of your eye, where it's like, whatever it does, there's a flipped version of everything we view in it. And then there's a lens that goes over the eye, which
Unflips
makes
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so
Okay.
like there's just so I'm not seeing like flipped like.
No.
Right,
But if you were
yes.
missing that part
Right.
of your eye, everything would be
we
upside
don't
down.
know. We don't know what. We can only trust. We only know what our senses.
Yeah.
No, not so much.
It is.
Gravity isn't a theory. And gravity holds us down.
Gravity.
So my feet are down. And that's what I see, so it must be true. Do you get what
But
I
like-
mean?
We could be upside down right now.
It's like
I disagree.
reality is only what we perceive
Well, someone
through our
in
senses.
fuck. So see the way we're here now, right? I'm sitting here, right? Then how come someone at the other side of the world isn't upside down?
What you say?
Like I'm at the, for example, right? Right.
Gravity.
What's up the top? Iceland, is it?
And
Antarctica, is it?
Arctic.
So Arctic, look, they're standing straight, right?
Arctic. What's it? The Arctic?
North Pole.
South Pole. The Arctic. Yeah.
Which one's up top? North, yeah,
North.
north. So
Antarctica is down below. Arctic.
I would just call it north. What's it called?
North
Pole.
Pole,
right?
South Pole.
So think about a fiend standing in the North Pole, right? He's chilled out, he's standing,
Tom Crean.
right?
Yeah.
Then South Pole. How's that fiend standing? Because gravity keeps us down. But if someone's at the other side of the world, gravity is keeping them up.
No, it's just stopping it from floating off the planet.
It's pushing us all equally.
It's sucking
on
us
to
all
the
in
ground, yeah.
To the. So like, if there was no gravity,
Oh.
so I say my hand here is the Earth. Everything would be going like that. But because gravity is all like that.
Oh,
pushing
so
us down.
gravity isn't just down, it can be side, depending on what side of the earth
Do you know if
they're
you've
on.
a ball? Let's see. Where is it?
They're over there. Just as a prop. It's a little Chinese ball for relaxation.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Give everyone a little
So-
bit of ASMR. ASMR.
So
I love
like,
doing that.
so you're saying if a fella's standing here, why is he and why is this fella still on the same ball?
He's chilling.
He's chilling.
He's chilling. But
Standing
if
on top
he's
of the world.
standing on top because of gravity, yeah,
Don't touch the-
gravity holds everything down. How come that fiend at the bottom isn't falling off? Because his legs are up and his head's down, basically. He's like this, when you think about it, in the world.
Yeah.
If you zoom fully out from the world, that fiend is upside down.
No, but like it's not sucked just down, and it's all like it's like that.
But you get me though.
No.
So we might be upside down now, depending on where the world is spinning.
But back what I was trying to get to.
In space, we could be upside down.
Right? We're roughly spinning right now 1,000 miles per hour.
So at some stage, we're going to be upside down.
Are we spinning just bilaterally, like? Are we going like?
I'm not sure.
No, it's not bilaterally. It's like this. Because the sun's like here and the moon's like there.
I'm sure it's like a basketball. Do you only spin a basketball?
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's maybe okay.
so our ears hear everything 20 times louder than what actually is. So what we perceive as reality is completely different to anything else. On the
Yeah,
planet.
it's our reality.
So does a tree, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's there to hear it, to see it, to feel the
Are
tree,
you going back to that fucking cat?
is the tree there? Did the tree fall?
Yes, it did.
Why?
Because, right, do you want to hear why? Right? I went for a walk there in Shelley's Cave recently, and another time I went for a walk down there, right?
Of the falling
I
tree.
didn't see the tree fall, but the tree, when I seen it the first time, it was standing up. When I went back, it was after falling.
No, but it's like I know this.
Does it comfort you to know that like it might not have just fallen because of the wind?
No, but I'm not worried about the tree itself.
Right.
It's just like, because why is our senses right, and why is it another animal senses the ones that are the good ones? Do you know
What does that to do with the fiend and his cat?
Did I fucking mention a cat?
You are on about that.
Schrodinger's cat.
You're
Schrodinger's
on about
cat.
Schrodinger's cat. Don't like.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
Because you
That's
said if you're
fucking
there and you don't see something
biofucking
happen, that's Schrodinger's cat.
No, that's quantum physics, and particles move without being observed and shit.
Oh yeah.
Sounds pretty similar to me.
Same thing, isn't
A
it?
tree's a particle. See?
No, but like,
I'm getting straight out of this now.
I don't know.
Because I'm
like,
sick of
I
hearing
can't
about Schrodinger's
explain.
cat.
It was just fucking, that blew my mind.
Right, thanks, Joseph.
Do your road test eastward anyway?
East.
Constantly.
Where's east?
North, south,
No, but like-
east.
In Middle East. Or that way.
There's a,
Yeah. If you're looking at a map, it's all that way.
But like, a map can be facing anywhere. Anyone have a compass?
I don't even know how
No.
compasses work. But like, the world is so crazy. And do you know what? Like, Owen, I wouldn't say he's big into like fucking horticulture or anything like that, but he's an interest in planting and stuff like that since he got sober and stuff. He just had an interest in it. And his brother has a big interest in it. And then I started getting a bit interest and it built slowly, I mean. But outside my back there, I told Owen for Valentine's, I said, look Owen, I said, if you get me flowers, I won't be happy. I don't like the thought of, because like, flowers get oxygen and stuff like that. They're really good for the planet. And just for someone to go in and do this to load of flowers, just for me to be giving them for them to rot, it's not my thing. So I said to him, seriously, don't get me flowers. So he came back with a box of 27,000 seeds or something for the price that a shit enough thing of flowers would be. And you've 27,000 flowers. Anyway, so we were getting the soil ready to plant it. And Owen said to me, he said something really interesting. What did you say to me again?
I actually don't know.
Oh yeah, right. My mum, we think, well, my mum thinks that our land here is cursed because things don't grow.
I thought you believe it as well.
I do, but I'm saying like it stemmed from my mum.
That was her idea, like.
Yeah, like I only know it because my mum, she's told me what's happened, like. But my mum, like, things die and things break so quickly. Anyway, she planted loads of daffodil seeds about 10 years ago, and she loves planting. She knows everything. Like, if my mum was to plant daffodils, she done it right. Do you know what I'm saying? And only one survived, and it grew. It grows every year. And my brain couldn't, because everyone knows, like, and if you're new listening, I'm a dyslexic and dyspraxic. I wasn't diagnosed in school, not until the end of secondary school when I left. But I didn't sit geography or history. So, like, geography and whatever. Is that even science, horticulture, or is it geography?
It would be science, I'd say.
I'm science. I don't have a clue about them subjects. They were too far out of my mind. I
Or
needed more help.
geography.
See, it'd be a bit of both, wouldn't it?
Would.
But anyway, so I don't know about them stuff, so I don't want people thinking like whatever. But I couldn't comprehend how a seed can grow a plant every year. I was like, it doesn't make sense.
Same seed.
Well, yeah, if you plant one seed, it'll keep happening. But
No.
wait, Owen explained to me that if there is a flower,
The flower disperses the seeds.
yeah, a flower comes out.
Oh, this is biology, yeah. We're doing this in biology.
But the purpose of the flowers, leaves, is to absorb as much sunlight as possible.
Yeah,
For the seed to
For
grow
the seed to
again.
grow.
yeah.
I think, like, people say that life is in a cycle. That shows, like, that's just another thing, like, the cycle of life. That, like, that plant, like, flowers have learnt, oh, look, we need another seed now to live for longer. We'll put up our big things and we'll get the sun in. And then by the time spring's done or whatever, or summer, the seed's growing again for next
And like
year.
it shows how everything's connected as well. Like,
It's crazy.
and that, like, you know, some bright and colourful flowers. They're bright and colourful to attract like bees.
Yeah.
Stuff to spread the pollen and plant more of the same flower. Like
It really is mind-boggling stuff, like, isn't it?
Yeah, and the only reason why the pollen spreads as well is because, the way bees are like furry. So the bee is going to the flower to connect, like, the nectar, because it's nice and sugary or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it just happens that he's rubbing up against the pollen, which collects in his thing.
I'm not trying to go on about a lot of different things, but I think this is kind of on the same topic. Do you know bees? We're talking about bees, like, why do vegans eat honey?
do they?
Do they?
I'll check that now.
There's so much. I'm not shitting on it. Like, don't.
No,
come for
he's
me.
not. He's not. He's very respectful of all that stuff now.
But just there's so much contradictions. There's contradictions in everything, but there's a lot of contradictions in veganism.
There is, to an extent, like, contradiction.
Like, it's impossible to consume anything without harming something.
Yeah, well, look, it is impossible, but you can still make an effort. That'd be a vegan's person's point. Like, yeah, for them to eat cabbage or whatever, animals will have to be killed, like rabbits, so they don't eat it. But it's on a much smaller scale. It's just, like, when you think about it, if you're growing vegetables, your purpose is to grow vegetables.
Yeah.
And then anything that comes in to ruin the vegetables, like, you're going to kill them, right, for example. But whenever you're actually killing cows and chickens and stuff, that's the purpose. And more will be killed in a sense. But it is, I know exactly what you're saying. And I agree.
Okay, let's take it a step forward.
Vegans should try and avoid honey anyway. It's because it's
Oh,
a product from...
There you go. Oh, yeah. So I was on to something, like.
But, so we touched on this in our last episode about animal self-awareness.
Yeah, we did. If you didn't see our last episode as well, lads, go back. It's only half an hour like this one, you know what I mean?
Is there anything to suggest that plants are aware of themselves? Hardly.
Plants are aware of
If they
themselves.
were, that would be a game changer.
Well, I tell you, I find it very... Have a look there, Owen. What I find really disturbing, and like, it's disturbing the wrong word, but it really fucks with me, that flowers are girls and boys.
Yeah.
There's because again, I didn't get help in school, so like science teachers, well, in my opinion, whenever I was in school, it was like hobbly biggly boo, big huge thick book, and for someone who can't take in a lot, my brain just turned off, so I didn't get any of that information, so it makes no sense to me. So then I hear that flower's a girl and that flower's a boy and they're gonna have sex or something, and I'm like, what?
Like, if there's a plant, if there's a carrot or something in the ground, and a rabbit comes over and eats it, the carrot in the ground will let off like hormones and stuff into the ground, and it'll warn then other carrots that it's been eaten and stuff.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
And like, they make themselves like, grass.
Yeah.
Do you know the smell of grass? Lovely this time of year. Start smelling grass. Oh, grass getting cut. Lovely.
Yeah.
It's the stress hormone of grass. It's basically grass's way of screaming. It's like, you're cutting me.
Jesus.
right.
It's weird, isn't it?
Oh, do you know what? Sorry, I said that twice. Once I was outside my garden This was actually when I was on my sobriety journey, which is another thing where people could perceive that as being contradictory. But like I'm on a sober journey from alcohol and cocaine mainly, like, but I was suffering with back pain, as people know, and I started taking weed in small doses, and I started having edibles. Just a little bit, whatever. I was trying to microdose it, but it wasn't working. I couldn't microdose it. And one time I was out the garden, I was painting the fucking, I don't know what I was painting, and all I noticed was I started thinking like there was paint falling on the grass, and I was going, I'm killing the grass and all this. And I just looked it up there, and it said plants do not have brains like human beings do. They cannot think like human beings either. They can, however, contain extremely complex mechanisms that allow them to do amazing things. Plants have time-sensitive genes that let them know when to suppress growth. And like, think about that fella. What's that plant and eats? He closes
flytrap.
Venus flytrap, yeah.
Like, that's madness. We'll go into our ad there now, lads, and then we'll talk a bit about, we'll look up Venus flytrap. This episode is proudly sponsored by MT Fitness. MT Fitness is a personal training gym based in Blackpool, Cork. He's focused on health, mindset and well-being. He's opened a new personal boutique gym that was just finished during COVID, so it's literally brand new. We would never promote something that we didn't believe in. Mark, the owner of MT Fitness, prides himself in customising a programme just for you. He has started a programme called MTID. We're not assholes. We wouldn't be plugging a gym if he wasn't doing online plans throughout lockdown.
Why wait to prioritise your mental health or physical health? Get a head start while we have more spare time. It doesn't matter if you have no clue about health or fitness. Mark and his employees are most non-judgmental and helpful people we know. We really recommend following his Instagram at MT Fitness Cork. On screen now, looking at his testimonials, we won't see any more. Look for yourself, Joseph says.
Don't judge him on his winners, judge him on his losers. Because he has so few.
Why are you reading it like you're reading like a paragraph in his history book in school?
It's like he's doing confirmation and he's saying, Jesus said to it.
Come on, what's his number?
Or message or ring at 085.
Say it slowly now, because we were typing them in.
085 738 4657. And back to the episode.
No,
I think it's okay.
That's it.
Let's just go over and watch it together. Why is it you pretended you were nervous?
I was.
Yeah, so it's crazy about all flowers and the different things and all that stuff. But you do have a point about veganism. You do, like.
It is a bit. But isn't everything is contradictory?
Everything
really.
can be contradicted. Everything can be contradicted. What in the name of God? The Venus flytrap, a plant that can count. Do you know what, lads? I'd say we'll have to do a whole different episode
on Venus flytraps.
Mad plants.
Yeah, on mad plants and stuff. But I know Owen wanted to tell you about what is it, tulip mania?
Tulip,
is it?
yeah.
Fuck it, flowers still.
A bit ties into this a little bit.
Yeah.
But basically what it is, tulip mania was like the original form of like stock trading in the stock market. So what it was, tulip mania was a period during the Dutch Golden Age.
When was that?
1637.
Oh, ages ago.
Can't lie, I mean. Yeah, they're off the bad shit and fucking around the place.
Yeah. So the Dutch Golden Age, when contract price for some bulbs of the recently introduced and fashionable tulip reached extraordinarily high levels and then dramatically collapsed in February 1637.
The amount of tulips or the price of them?
The price. So basically, like, if you had tulips in your house.
Tulips was like a currency, so.
Yeah, basically, like.
Were tulips the first cryptocurrency? No, that's too far of a reach.
Yeah.
Kinda. It's a bit like cryptocurrency.
Yeah, basically the whole point around it was like in Holland and stuff like that, tulips would grow like, and they have to be exported from around the world and stuff. And like you would have a tulip dealer there saying like, oh, I think this is going to start. These tulips would be really good, like, and rare. They might come out as blue and stuff. So he'd say to the fellas like, oh, I have this bulk bag of tulips now. They could turn out blue, right? And if they're growing, I could sell them for triple, quadruple the price. So it's a good investment, like. And then your man could have just fucking grown the tulips and like they're all yellow. He's just lost all his money.
It's like the magic beans, like.
Yeah, magic beans, basically.
Magic beans, like. If that was.
But it's all speculation.
At the end of the day, is that's essentially what stock trading is. So I've magic beans here. They might be good, and
Yeah.
they might go
It's
bean
chance,
stock.
isn't it? But it's more than chance in a
It's
way.
like in The Office where Jim sells match beans to Dwight.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I
Same thing.
know, but it's not just that though.
It kind of is.
What's the value of anything?
What's the value of anything? The value of anything, in my opinion, is how much someone wants something.
Yeah.
It's
Do you agree?
Yeah.
or how much of it there is, like
Yeah.
supply and demand, like.
Not
Plain
even.
demand. But what if I had?
I disagree.
But what if I had like a red?
Good point. Like, yeah, like,
Do you know what I mean?
there
Like,
might be only 2 of it, but like I don't need it. Like,
yeah, like,
Yeah.
it's,
or no, but there's only 2 of it. Do you know what I
like,
mean?
fuck, let me think of something. Like, some people are like, there's only 16 Rolex watches, and I'm like,
What is
I
it?
have a Fitbit that's 15 Like,
They
I'm
only
wearing-
made 30,000 PlayStations. I need a PlayStation.
Yeah.
I'll
And
pay
Yeah.
a fucking grand for it, even though
But
it's not worth that. Like,
good shout, because that's a technique that all places use, and I've used it myself. I can't think of what scenario. I think I was trying to sell hair for my sister in law was trying to get braids.
Oh yeah, we're nearly sold out. That
yeah,
thing.
fear of missing out.
Nearly booked
Yeah.
out. Getting quick, only have a few numbers left. Maybe people go, oh yeah.
Yeah, boy.
It's funny. It is funny. Do you know the amount of times that you call me by? You always say ba.
Aye, ba.
No, you call me ba.
Like, bah.
North side's ba. And I think
it's
south
just
side's by.
it's just general. I know some
Wow.
of my friends are like, I do ba.
Really?
I ba. Like, what are you saying?
It's so funny. It is so funny. What about celibacy though?
Celibacy.
So I'll tell you why we're talking about celibacy. Me and Owen were watching. You have to admit your truth there now, like the manly persona is going down.
Marriage or Mortgage. Great show.
Owen likes it.
There's a evil, twisted estate agent in it. And
Do
she's
you know what? You're the definition of
absolutely
not
right.
toxic masculinity. Like
What?
you'll admit that you like kind of girly programs or whatever, and you don't care because you're not
No,
a toxic.
I like the what threw me in now. They were looking for transport for the wedding, so they're like, "What are we going to do? 50 people going." You one whips out like a tram, fits 25 people.
That's the wedding girl though. She's
Yeah,
nice.
but I was like,
but you want to
oh,
bitch about the house girl.
Yeah,
you have a
I
problem
know,
with her.
But I kind of want to get a tram or party bus now for some reason.
Oh,
somewhere.
that's where the interest peaked.
Yeah.
Mystery tour wedding.
But there's this woman,
No.
right? And she must be like the greatest estate agent or fucking
Whatever she
property, property fucking realtor. That's what the word is. There was a woman, right? Her dad died.
No, her granddad died a few months before the show.
Right. Well, I'm talking about the burnt stuff. So she had all
Sorry.
these. His dad, like her dad, liked to cook and stuff like this, and her house caught on fire, and she lost a lot of his stuff, like recipes and stuff like that. So she staged the house with the burnt leftover pieces of the scraps they salvaged from the fire and put them in frames in the kitchen.
Like she got onto the fella to
Yeah.
set it up.
And like put them here. It's like, wouldn't your dad love to see you in this kitchen? And here's his recipe.
That's
and stuff like that.
lousy, but it's not. But it is.
No, and
There was another one then.
this is the worst one.
They were looking for a house and she sold them 2 houses and then a third house was just a plot of land. So it was like, you're so
Sorry for the
picky.
spoilers as well, lads, if you're
Yeah,
watching it.
You're so picky. Like, what I can do is I can write up plans for like a drawing of your dream home or stuff like that. And what does she do? She's giving this big speech like, oh, wouldn't it be great and you're so close to your family and stuff like
This
that.
one's granddad died like 3 months before.
Yeah. And what does
Very
she do?
raw.
She's like, as your granda always says, and then like kicks over a rock on the ground, and there's like a quote from her granddad on the thing, and they're all fucking bawling and everything. Like,
And it was actually from
That
that,
is,
one,
like-
wasn't it?
Yeah, I was-
After that one, your one kind of stopped. She laid it off for an
I
episode.
think the producers were like, you can't do this anymore. This is too.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. Like,
But
I have to admire it all. Like, I mean, it's,
whenever we were watching that, there was an episode of this couple, and they were saying like, "Oh look, they've been together 2 years, whatever, and they've been celibate." And if anyone's celibate, whatever, look, don't get sensitive. We're not coming for you. We never do that. It's just interesting, please, because we're not attacking it. What did you want?
no, it's just like, I doubt many of our listeners are celibate.
Well, you never know, though.
Unless you're a priest.
You never know. But like, if you're a priest and
If you're in the priesthood, comment down
leave a
below.
comment. Yeah.
But right, with celibacy, there was this couple living celibate, and it was very interesting, whatever. And then Owen said something. He was like, "Oh, the man's definitely gonna blow his load instantly," or something like that. And I was like, "Is he though?" I was like, "Does he? Would he not have like loads of wanks and stuff?" And then like Joseph came in and said, no, like wanks are off, like you can't be having no
can't be
wanks.
having wanks.
But then like
Shame.
are they allowed tongue kiss? Like, but then me and Owen were talking about a tongue kiss would lead to. Do you know what I mean? You get an ocean then, and so maybe they have to stay away from everything so they don't do it.
I think they
They slept in separate beds. Like.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I think they got the house in the end, and I think your one is like she sleeps in her friend's house down the road.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Until they're married.
Someone's cheating.
What? Why?
Why?
Think about it. Who's her friend?
Who's her friend?
It's her girlfriend. It's a girl, she said.
Well,
See, I'm too trusting, aren't I? But right, okay. Celibacy. Sorry, it said from Latin celibatus or something. I'm not gonna, but I already murdered it. Is the state of voluntarily being unmarried, sexually absent, or both, usually for religious reasons. It is often in association with the role of a religious official or devotee.
Like monks, like they used to just live in round towers and get goosed.
Yeah.
No, but like my thing is, look, it's like, but like monks are all or nothing. They're like, we're not going near it.
They're in like.
Yeah, they're like not touching it. But then if you're waiting to get married, what are you doing until you get married? Like, are you going to rub your feet in his leg or something? Or is that sexual? Do you know what I'm saying?
I think they're allowed to dry hump. I seen that in the film, I think.
I think you're allowed to do hand things.
That's not funny. I'm sorry, lads. I'm laughing. Can you try and find it?
It's hilarious.
I read it up earlier. You're allowed to do hand things, I think.
But like there's hand things could be oral.
No, that's not a hand thing.
It is because it's someone's hand.
Oral.
Oral. Do you know what oral means?
Oh, sorry. No, right. No, not oral. Okay? So oral's this, but then what's this?
Outer course. That's probably what. Remember we saw earlier on is
so
like intercourse is off the table. But you're
I'm trying to use not use the worst words. So
outer course is.
Like, come on now. That's the same as veganism again.
But there's
veganism, I said.
Veganism.
Outer course is the vegan sex word, like.
Yeah.
It's non-penetrative sex.
Fuck it.
It's sexual activity that usually does not include sexual penetration. It generally excludes the penetrative aspects of vaginal or anal sexual activity, but includes various forms of sexual and non-sexual activity such as frottage, I don't know, mutual masturbation, kissing or cuddling.
Right.
That is contradictory.
Wait. That is
I have to get up that word.
a hot take that you just came up with there, Owen.
What did he say?
Spot on.
What?
Did we talk about veganism in this episode or last episode? It was this episode. Horticulture.
Yeah, it was this episode, yeah.
So, what did you say? If you're
Outer course.
Veganism is basically just outer course.
Yeah.
And if you're,
Did you just say that?
Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't even hear
it's
that.
spot on.
How?
It's like just go the full way, have intercourse, like have some beef burgers,
Eat
like.
some chicken, yeah.
But no, outer course. You're kind of
Yeah. Good point, because because veganism, you are going to be killing some animals to get your veg and stuff. No matter, look lads, I'm sorry to offend any vegans because there is a lot of vegans, but no matter what you're eating, like no matter how what's the word
Hold on. Do you remember that
organic it is, there's going to be a rabbit killed in the process, like
Hold on, I
something.
have to break some ground here now on this new word I've come across. You know, the frottage word, right? The practice of touching or rubbing against the clothed body of another person in a crowd as a means of obtaining sexual gratification.
Do you know what I think that is?
What?
I think that's.
Look up, is frottage legal?
Do you know what I think that is? I think they're over analysing like people dancing in nightclubs. That's what that is right there.
No, that's not dancing in a nightclub.
wait,
That's someone's hand up against someone.
Do you know what I'm worried about here now? Is frottage only to be done in a crowd, and if it's done somewhere else, it's called something else? That's what I'm thinking.
No. Like they're saying that frottage or whatever it is. Like you can't have sex at a rave.
I think that's the Sigmund Freud level analysation of people dancing in like concerts and nightclubs.
Is frottage always
In a crowd.
Oh, it's not. Obviously.
I just
It
need
might
to
be.
check.
Okay.
Frotcherism. Interesting. Robbie used.
No, you're wrong, Owen. You're wrong. Sorry.
Non-consenting.
What? Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
Hold on.
So Frasher, Owen kind of whispered it to himself, but so Frasherism, or whatever how it's supposed to say, is a paraphilic interest in rubbing, usually one's pelvic area or erect penis, against a non-consenting person for sexual pleasure.
Sorry.
So I was right to look up, is frottage, whatever it is, illegal?
Are we about to get cancelled?
So why is
No.
so outer course involves frottage?
So, in order to be celibate, you have to...
Go around dry humping strangers in crowds.
Whoa, that's...
Wait, is Frasherism, it's called. It said it's illegal in many jurisdictions. But what's a jurisdiction?
Like a lot under law, like under a lot of places of
You
law.
might be able to do it in Alabama, but not in Kansas.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
That's it should be legally Frasherism is treated as a sexual assault or battery in most jurisdictions. A sexual assault is a criminal offence and therefore carries potentially serious penalties. Depending upon the particular circumstance, Frasherism may constitute a misdemeanor or a felony criminal offence.
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
fair, but
So
I still haven't got to Ireland.
I think that first article needs to be rewritten, like, and taking that word
Why,
out.
what was it?
Yeah, but celibacy and
Out of
out
course
of
stuff.
course.
Because clearly that word it's fucking illegal. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Or I suppose,
unless you're...
I think they were just stating it objectively, like this is what out
Yeah.
can be like.
I suppose, yeah, because like, there's not words for everything. Right, lads, we're looking up, is Frasherism legal?
what it is then, yeah.
No, but it said it's different in different jurisdictions. Ireland have awful sexual laws.
It's a disorder and everything. Gee, what?
Britain considers women only train carriages sexual problems. Oh, it is. It's an offender type. Like, this is on the journal now, and it says, as for the actual problem of such frotters and other offenders, that. So that's suggesting it is an offence, so it is illegal.
Yeah, thankfully.
That's very interesting.
I think that article, the first one we looked up, is just... That's the wrong word to put in there. Do you know what I mean?
But maybe there's no word for it at the same time. Well, maybe they should just...
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's the word I
But like,
think.
so is what that said, what we were even just talking about in the first place, is what they're saying is like, if you're celibate, you can dry hump. You can't do nothing with your hands. No, but you're allowed to do that for Taj as long as there's clothes on.
Of course. Yeah. I think we leave it there.
No, but do you know what? My brain's just fucked. No, but we can't find anything. We're trying to Google it. There's not a lot on it. If we find anything more, lads, we'll talk about it next week.
Episode, yeah.
But just so you know, don't rub no one,
Stay away
even
from-
if their clothes are on.
Stay
'cause
away
you'll
from
get done.
frottage.
And we're against it. Thanks for tuning in as usual. It's sponsored by MT Fitness, as was in the ads.
Frottage free zone.
Frottage free zone. And we'll see you next week, lads. Peace out.
Peace out.